when you feel like you're drifting off, come back, show up for the workout, show up for the nutrition call, show up for the team training, whatever it is that you are involved in, show up. Welcome back to this week's episode of It Takes Grit. Oh my goodness, we are closing in to the end of 2020. What a year it has been, and I feel like we're all in that same place where we had a little bit of uncertainty, but we are connecting in a way that we never thought was possible before, and we are actually making strides in areas of our life that we haven't even tapped into. So I want to say that I'm proud of you, I'm proud of our community, I'm proud of everything. Those of you who went through the 4-week inner transformation program, OMG, that was absolutely phenomenal. If you missed it, do not worry, we're going to be doing another one at the beginning of the year 2021. So January, we're going to get started together. Just go to RebeccaLouiseCoaching.com and you get yourself set up. We have a very, very special discount, 75% off for the next week or so. So make sure that you grab yourself a seat in the 4-week inner transformation program, because oh my goodness, those people who went through it in October 2020, think it was just incredible. I went through personal transformation doing it just myself, and I know that we had so many people in our community that got so much from it as well. So I'm excited to have our new class start in January 2021. Oh my goodness. All right, let's take a deep breath in together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale everything out. All righty, let's talk about this week's episode. We're talking about the 5 keys to success. So just 5 things that you get to remember from this episode. And if there's something in your life right now where you're struggling, whether it's a relationship, whether it's business, whether it's schoolwork, whether it's your job, or whether it's a friendship, I am telling you that one of these areas is just lacking slightly, okay? Maybe it's your results, one of your areas of your results. Maybe it's your body transformation, your mindset. You know, your nutrition's not been quite on point. Maybe you've not been following along with the workouts. Maybe you've stopped doing your personal development. I'm gonna give you 5 keys to success. And I've really narrowed it down to these 5 areas. And I believe that if you can follow each of these 5 sections, right? And I'm gonna get you to write them down and write them down over and over and over again. You are going to be able to really change some of the results that you have right now to get to where you want to be. And remember that the podcast, It Takes Grit, is all about the grit that you need to keep on going and bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to go. Like, how can you create that gap to be a little bit smaller, and then you're always then striving for that next goal, and then we have to bridge that gap again. I mean, that's always what it is. If you have one goal and you achieve it, you've bridged the gap, but then boom, you're gonna have another goal that you wanna do, and you're gonna have to bridge that gap again. So let's go through the 5 keys to success. Number 1, I've been saying this a lot in 2020, show up. Show up even when it's really difficult. Show up even when you've been crying. Show up even when you've been mad. Show up even when you're happy. Keep on showing up. Because I remember, you know, when I was going through my divorce, I just kind of get started with my business. And I remember thinking, I'm going to get through this difficult time in my life. I'm going to get through it. And at the end, I'm either going to have a great business, or I'm going to have nothing. So I'm going to go through all this difficult time. I may as well have something great at the end of it. And that just kept me going. It kept me showing up, because I was like, you know what? It's going to be a little bit crappy for a little bit, but don't I want to have something amazing at the end of it? The answer was always yes. Yes, I want to have something amazing at the end of it. And so you don't want to go through something crappy and then have something crap at the end. At least if you're going to go through something crappy, have something great at the end. So showing up, right? And the first way that we show up, we get our physiological body in the room. Second way we show up, we get that physiological body in the room and we bring our brain with us. And then third way is that we show up with our body, we show up with our mind, and then we also bring people along with us. That's how you become a leader. That's how you become a role model. That's how you become an influencer. Okay, so All those things that are in your head right now that are stopping you from showing up, if you remove your excuses, all right? Because the reason that you don't show up sometimes is because you use an excuse for the reason not showing up. And by the way, excuses and reasons are the same thing. I can't show up because of my kids. I can't show up because I don't have enough money. All of these things, right? That's your choice. You have a choice of how that you can deal with your children, what you need to do to be able to show up somewhere, and what you need to do to be able to earn money so that you can get somewhere as well. So it is all the same thing. And when you just release all of those excuses and reasons that come into your head, you will be able to show up. And what happens when you show up? You get success. You see it, it's very, very evident that all of the people who keep on showing up, no matter what, even when it's difficult, when they don't want to, when they're sick, when they're tired, when they're angry, when they're hungry, right? All of these different emotions, you still show up anyway. And that is what is the difference between someone who makes it and someone who doesn't, is that they show up regardless. All right, so that's number one. Number two, stay close to the fire. I can't stress this enough. Again, it comes into showing up. All of these kind of interlace with each other, because if you show up, all right, what happens when you show up? You're close to the fire. And that fire is going to keep you alive. That's going to keep you lit up. It's going to keep you motivated. It's going to keep you inspired. As you start to move away from the workouts, away from the nutrition plan, away from the team, away from everything, right? Away from the people who are moving, what happens to you? You don't move. So actually showing up is going to make sure that you stay close to the fire. And when you're close to the fire, what happens inside of you? You have fire, you have momentum, you have excitement, you have joy, you have passion, you have that burning desire. That's what we call the fuel, that burning desire inside of you to keep on going. So stay close to the fire. When you feel like you're drifting off, come back, show up for the workout, show up for the nutrition call, show up for the team training, whatever it is that you are involved in, show up and come back. That fire is going to make sure that you continue to get results. All right, just think of yourself, where are you right now? If you're a little log over here, I've said this before in our inner transformation program, and you're a little tiny log, you're going to burn out. That's why your little log needs to come into the fire and allow all of the people who are moving and shaking and doing the do you're gonna feed off them. But if you go back out here, you've got your log, you're burned out, all the people around you are not the fire, they're not keeping you going, and therefore you are not gonna have success. Success leaves clues, my friend, right? Just look at all the successful people. They stay close to the fire. They stay close to people who are moving. This also relates to the people that you are surrounding yourself with, right? You think of all of the most unbelievable entrepreneurs. They're all friends together. People who, are successful in life, they have a group of friends who are also successful. And guess what? They stay together. They stay close to the fire. So if you're wanting to be successful, right, and this is one of the 5 keys to success, you want to be successful, you need to stay close to the fire, because those are the people who are going to influence you. Those are the people who are going to keep you moving. Those are the people who are going to inspire you. Those are going to be your circle of influence. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. So if those people are not moving in the direction that you want to go in, you need to separate yourselves from them, and you need to move into a direction where it is moving and it is going great and people are doing the do, because that's going to rub off on you. All right. Other people's, success, if you are around them all the time, it's going to do one of 2 things. You're going to compare and you're not going to do any work. Or number 2, you're going to be inspired and you're going to be like, hey, I want to do what they're doing as well. So use that fuel of the people that you are around. All right. Number 3, stay consistent. My friends, you cannot expect to see results on anything, nutrition plan, workout plan, business plan, school plan, work plan, anything. If you're just doing something once a week, you're not being consistent with it. Maybe you've just done something for 30 days. 30 days is nothing. You need to be full in for 90 days. Whether you are sticking to your workouts for 90 days, your nutrition plan, your business plan, all of those things, 90 days, my friend. And then you can come back to me and say, hey, this isn't working, or what do we need to change, right? It's never that it just doesn't work. It might be that you just need to change it slightly here and there. For the last, 5-6 years, I posted a new workout every single day on YouTube, every single week, on YouTube. That is consistency. I'm very consistent with my social media. I'm consistent with showing up. It also turns into showing up for the team calls. I'm showing up for the workouts, showing up for things, right? That is consistency as well. As again, it rolls into that number one thing that we were talking about, showing up. Be consistent with your showing up, all right? Consistency is so, so important to get results and to be successful. So if you're not being consistent, figure out why. Figure out why your routine isn't working right now. Figure out why things are just not going in the right direction. Figure out how you can be consistent. And consistency comes with discipline and work ethic, right? So if you really want something, you will be consistent because you have that discipline to keep on, guess what? Showing up. Guys, my friends, it is not that difficult to be successful. I promise you, just these 5 things, but most people can't show up. They're not consistent about it. They don't stay close to the fire. I don't know why. That's part of the magic and the mystery. But don't let that be you. Don't let that be you who is not doing the do when it really is this simple. And there's going to be days where you're like, does this work? This is too difficult. I can't. Yes, that's the universe testing you. All right, if it was that easy, everybody would do it. It's simple. It's not always easy to show up when you don't want to, right? It's not always easy to stay consistent, but it sure is simple because it's just one decision. You are always one decision from making your future exactly what you want it to be. But most people choose the wrong decision. They choose not to do something rather than doing it, okay? So let's go on to number 4. You're gonna like this one. Get outside your comfort zone. Yes. If you are always doing the same thing and you're not branching out, or you're not getting outside that comfort zone, you are not going to grow. Change and growth and new things is amazing, okay? So what you want to keep on thinking about is that every single time that you are, like feeling scared, you're feeling uncomfortable, like you're not sure about something, what you want to do is say, hey, great, this is amazing. This is just the universe testing me to see how much I want something. So every single day where you are feeling unsure about something and it's making you feel a little bit sick in your stomach, all right, what do you get to do? You get to step outside your comfort zone. You get to step into your greatness about doing something different. So when you feel like you're in your comfort zone, you're not going to grow. And if you say that you really do want something else, you really do want to create this life, you really do want to have those results, it's going to take doing something different than you're already doing right now to get there. And that's normally one step outside of your comfort zone. And look, it's never as scary as it is. It's never that bad. We make these ideas up in our head that things are going to be so terrible and so difficult and so challenging, when really they're not that bad. So get over yourself. Let your ego go. No one cares that much about what you're really doing, okay? People have got their own stuff going on their head that they don't need an additional stuff from you, what you're doing to make it different, okay? And then finally, work on yourself. Working on yourself is the most important thing. As Jim Rohn says, if we want things to change, right, we have to change. If we want things to get better, we have to get better. So if you are like, hey, things are just not happening in my life right now, I'm not sure where I'm at, my head's all over the place, work on yourself. Work on yourself over and over again, getting up in the morning, doing personal development, right? Listening to podcasts, doing anything that you can to make yourself 1% better the next day, all right? So take a look at those 5 things that we have going on, right, in the life to 5 keys to success. Where are you at with showing up? Where are you at with staying close to the fire? Where are you at with staying consistent? Where are you at with getting outside your comfort zone? And lastly, how often are you working on yourself? Guys, you need to share this with somebody today, family, friends, be a hero in someone else's life today. They need to hear these 5 keys to success to help them get to where they want to be as well. Guys, I love you. Super proud of everybody doing the 4-week Inner Transformation program in January, and I will see you on next week's episode. Bye, guys. Mwah. The first part and getting the momentum is the hardest part. But if you start hard, fast, and sure of yourself, right, and assertive,